I'd like to preface this review by saying that throughout this video, I point out what I think are flaws inside of this film, and sometimes a kind of joking or poking kind of way, but I definitely don't want anyone who watches this review to think that in any way I'm bashing this film, or especially making fun of the people who created this film. If I was one of the creators of this film, I would be very proud of myself. This is a very notable film. There's a lot in here to be proud of, and throughout the video, I just like having fun. I don't mean anything to be over negative. So with that said, let's just enjoy this video and take everything that I say in good spirit. Okay guys, so we're doing a review of what is basically the PG-13 cut of John Wick, but it's called Beckman. And instead of John Wick, it's a guy who runs around with a gun, but he's a Christian. And it has its own little message about how you shouldn't run around and kill people. Wow, that's a brain-blowing revelation. I definitely needed a 90-minute movie to tell me that it's wrong to go around and kill people. Great message. Definitely a life-transforming message that I never could have figured out on my own. But we're actually going to give this movie the benefit of a doubt. Even though it completely rips off the story of John Wick, we're going to give it the benefit of a doubt. So ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let's dive into Beckman, the Christian John Wick. All right, you scum, I've been chasing you down for 3 days. And now that I've got you at gunpoint, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, dude, wait, you're a Christian. You're not allowed to kill me. Wait, what? Bro, oh my goodness. Oh, how did I forget that? And because I'm a Christian, I'm not allowed to kill you. I'm sorry, dude. I was so mad. I wasn't even thinking about that. My bad, bro. Wow.
It's okay, dude. I understand it happens to the best of us.
Okay. I don't mean in any of those little clips to make fun of the sanctity of human life. Human life is a very, very, very precious thing and should only be taken under the most extreme of circumstances. But with those scenes, I'm kind of trying to poke a little fun at one of my biggest problems with this film. So of course in the intro, I talked about how one of my biggest problems is the fact that this film is trying to tell you the message that it's wrong to kill people, but it somehow makes the thing that it's saying is wrong the most exciting and action-packed and entertaining part of the movie. It's like you're telling me it's evil, but you're making it very entertaining to watch. It's like you're glorifying the very thing that you're saying is wrong. And I'll give it a couple of seconds, the alternative to what they could have done instead of that. To give a quick synopsis of what happens in the film. So basically, Beckman gets an adoptive daughter called Tabitha. This cult group comes to kidnap Tabitha, and Beckman reverts back to his old ways of running around and shooting people and starts to hunt down these cult members one by one, killing them off until he works his way up to Tabitha. And so my big problem with this is that the movie tells you that it's wrong to kill people, but it does not tell you what the right thing to do is in a case of dealing with people like this. These are very, very bad people, particularly the leader of this group is someone who likes to prey on young people, particularly young women. Very bad people. So one of the last moments of the film, Beckman has a heart-changing moment where he decides not to kill somebody, but instead to let them live. But the problem he makes is that he walks away from this person and just lets them go scot-free with no consequences. I understand it's wrong to kill people, but you have to make them serve some type of system of justice for the wrongs that they've done. You could take them into the authorities, shoot them in the leg to immobilize them, but this film seems to go to the extreme and just say, well, it's wrong to kill people, so you should probably just do nothing with these people. I don't know if that's really what they meant to say, but that's what I got out of this film. I would much rather watch a movie where the whole movie, the main character is a good guy who goes around and serves justice the right way by hunting down criminals and doing the right thing, rather than a movie where someone does the wrong thing for a while just to have a heart change and go back to literally where he was in the first part of the movie already. It's like nothing was really gained in the process of this movie. So that's my biggest complaint. But let's take a closer look at some of the individual scenes and break down what happens inside of this film. So we start out the movie by meeting our main character, Beckman, preceded by this awesome panning shot of Los Angeles. I love it. Beckman is chatting with Pauline Panino about this random guy named Hayes who has literally nothing to do with the story for the rest of the movie. I'm talking about how he's not going to fight Hayes.
I won't fight him.
Beckman then proceeds to have an entire scene where he does fight Hayes. I have no idea what's going on or why they're fighting, but it's okay because this is actually a really cool scene. The lighting is awesome. The cinematography and fighting is actually pretty fantastic. If you watch one scene in the movie, just watch this first scene. I also love the fact that they're fighting in this entire scene inside of like suit coats and everything, which I will tell you from experience, I've worn a lot of suit coats. That's incredibly uncomfortable to do. So Beckman proceeds to not only fight Hayes, but kill him. Again, I have no idea why they're even fighting, so I'm very confused. But he kills Hayes, which proceeds to get him in trouble with some secret society that we really don't know much about other than they're talking about while they're fighting about being out and then being back into the society. So they're apparently upset he killed Hayes and proceed to hunt him down. So the injured Beckman goes on the run, going rogue on them, and begins to search for basically wherever he can find safety. Now this is your Christian movie, so I bet you have no guesses where Beckman runs to. Oh, all right, I'll give not three guesses, that takes too long. A church! This instantly becomes your cliche Christian movie. I would love to see the marketing meeting where they were talking about this movie before it was being shot. Hello everybody, welcome to our meeting.
Hi-ho, committee frog.
Yes. Okay, so we're working on this Christian movie. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The only problem is there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of killing in this movie. So we're trying to think of different ways that, you know, something we could put into the movie to make the Christians like it, because Christians typically don't like fighting and killing in movies. So do you have any ideas on something we can put into the movie to make Christians like the movie?
Okay, I have a great idea. How about the main character goes to a church and learns about all this cool Christian stuff and even becomes a pastor himself?
Oh my goodness, that is an amazing idea. That's the best idea I've heard in a long time.
Oh my goodness, I am clapping so loudly because that is a brilliant idea. I love it.
So don't get me wrong, I am a Christian and I believe as Christians, it is our job to be the salt and light of the earth and to bring the gospel message with us to all corners of the world so that every creature can hear the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I want to give props to this movie for presenting a gospel message to all people everywhere. I'm more criticizing this movie on the method of presenting the gospel. And this is more my gripe with just Christian movies in general. There's literally parts of this movie where Beckman is standing in front of a pulpit preaching sermons to the people. You know, I feel like they could have presented the message in a more clever way that's a little more digestible to your non-traditional Christian viewing audience. And I feel like they could have potentially reached more people that way. And also, it's a little bit weird to me that Beckman became a pastor. I've always viewed pastors as people who are more spiritually mature, and Beckman is still like struggling with nightmares and self-forgiveness at a point where it doesn't strike me as necessarily a spiritually mature figure. Well, after this, we meet one of the next main characters of the film, whose name is Tabitha. So she's on the run from something she basically doesn't want to talk about and doesn't really talk about for the rest of the film, but we do definitely learn about as the film progresses. But she's in trouble, looking for help, and Beckman actually takes her in as kind of a father figure in her life, almost adopting her, which is kind of cool because she comes from a troubled past, much like Beckman. So we jump ahead a year later and we see that she's adjusted a lot to the new life. You know, she's in church, she's really enjoying the atmosphere. And at first you might think it's really odd just seeing the movie instantly snap from where she was to where she is now. But it actually works out because later in the movie we do get some flashbacks that show it wasn't an instant change in her life and she did struggle during the process. I mean, she's adjusting a lot. She's even one of the other main characters of the film, Tom. She's even like flirting with Tom, which it's kind of an awkward flirting.
Hey, but I gotta go.
Oh, hey, wait, how'd that video turn out?
Yeah, it turned out really good. Really talented. You want to see?
Here is my number. Send it to me.
Oh, listen, I really gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, I understand you want to make a cute flirting scene, but I wish you could have made it like a Peter Parker kind of cute flirting.
Character. It's my uncle. He's a pathological liar, and he thought you were someone else.
Oh, man, you don't have me on your computer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I took a photo of the debate team, and you're in the debate team, so.
Right.
So, he must have seen, I was touching up stuff.
You're touching up stuff?
Come on. I'm not gonna answer that.
So after this, the movie takes a dark turn as the people that Tabitha was connected with in the past come back to abduct her right in front of Beckman's eyes, who can do nothing but watch. It's a very sad scene But aside from what's actually happening in the scene, I think this scene, more than most of the others in the film, shows one of the flaws of the film where it really lacks a lot of visual beauty. I don't know why I struggle with that word so much. It's kind of a visually bland scene as far as like the actual setting and like scene design just seems a little bit lacking. And also, it's shot in a small room, so a lot of the shots are very tight, whereas I felt like a scene like this needed to be a little bit bigger in scope because of what's happening. Like, we meet the main villain here, and he has some pretty cool, compelling lines, but because of the way it was shot and how the scene is set up, it just seems to suck away a lot of what he's saying. But aside from that, with Tabitha being abducted, this is what starts the rampage of Beckman. All you bad guys better beware. So on from here, Beckman basically throughout the rest of the movie is cutting through one person after another, working his way up this network of horrible people trying to work his way up to the top. And I don't want to narrate every single one of them that he interacts with because this video is already getting long. I will say along the way, we get a couple really sick shots there. I mean, whew, that is a pretty incredible shot. And then this scene right here is just like, I don't know if pure genius is the word, but it's pretty close to genius. It's just, wow, that is a really well thought out scene. And then along the way, we meet this character right here who is basically just really annoying and adds literally nothing to the movie except for wrecking a car.
What have you gotten me into? I'm your husband. I deserve to know.
The actor in other movies he's been in is an incredible actor, but in this movie they just make him highly annoying and basically useless, except for he's married to one of the main villains inside of this movie who, I don't know why anyone would marry this woman because she's like pure evil. Like, would you marry somebody like this?
Shut up, damn wicked. Just shut up.
But you put the two of them together and we do get this scene right here, which is, in my opinion, the best moment of the entire movie.
Raise your hand.
Her.
Don't run. Don't shout. Sit down.
So, the evil little lady ends up capturing Beckman, putting him inside of a cellar, which brings about the really cool moment of the scene and one of the most epic lines of the movie, except for it's almost the most epic because she won't stop talking.
Frank is coming with Reese. He's instructed me to keep you here and not kill you. He didn't say anything about hurting you. I'm gonna hurt you now.
I mean, who says I'm going to hurt you now? And I love the fact that these serial killers have Cheerios and Kicks just sitting around in their house. I guess that's what serial killers eat. In that case, let's cancel Cheerios and Kicks. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's just the age where we cancel everything now, so. So after this, Beckman finds out that one of his former friends from his old church has a bounty placed on his head for being connected with him. So he has to go save his skin, which cues one of the coolest scenes, I think, in the entire movie, which I don't want to show you more than just like a short little snippet because you just need to go watch the scene. It's pretty incredible. If all the movie was made on the same level of this scene, I think it would only be better than it already is. Like, I might be dashing in a lot of different individual things, but this movie's actually not that bad. It's pretty good and downright good in certain parts. But basically, he saves his friend's skin, who berates him for what he's doing, rightfully so. He's running around and killing people, and actually gives him some good advice.
Go to the cops.
You can't go to the cops.
You can.
Yes, Beckman, go! Talk to the cops. That's what I've been saying since the beginning of this review. He then proceeds to give him, what in my opinion is some very bad advice.
This kid got in my face at a party. I could have beat him. But I thought about what you taught me. And blessed are the meek. Blessed are the merciful. I just let him hit me. And he kept hitting me until... I don't know, he just kind of got freaked out.
Yes, you're supposed to turn the cheek. I'm pretty sure that doesn't mean that you literally let people beat you to a bloody pulp. I don't think that's what the Bible is trying to say. So after this, we meet another main character of the film who is called the Administrator. He's basically a hitman for the secret society that Beckman used to be a part of, and Beckman is not exactly on good terms with his society. So they more or less send this guy to just hunt down Beckman and just finish the job, which I actually really like the Administrator. He's a really cool character and has a feel about him that just feels kind of, I don't don't know, it's just kind of epic. It's just kind of awesome. And I wish he had a bigger role inside of the film, honestly. And the way they set it up inside of this film is where if it ever had a sequel, he would likely take one of the main roles in the sequel. But at this point, I don't think this film is ever going to have a sequel. I just love the fact that the administrator apparently pumps up for fighting Beckman by listening to country music. I mean, like, I don't know if the country music doesn't strike me as the most invigorating style of music.
All right, boys, so tomorrow's the big battle, and I'm really excited, but I always like to do a little something to kind of pump me up, you know, when we're about to go fight. So I like to play a little music, so I got something to show you guys. Take it. Woo! Hold this, dear, come on! How are you feeling it? Are you feeling it?
Beckman is already wounded, so when the administrator fights him, it's not really a fair fight. He easily beats Beckman and is on the point of being about to kill him, but is suddenly struck by the nobility of Beckman's purpose of trying to save his daughter that he decides not to kill him. Then proceeds to go into a long dialogue, yet another example. Sometimes not everything has to be spoken. He starts talking about how he's killed all these people in his life and only a couple people he's decided to let live. Sometimes you don't have to give all of the dialogue. Sometimes it's better to leave certain things unspoken.
Is he done talking yet?
So after this, Beckman basically cuts his way through the final person before he reaches the ultimate ringleader of this horrible group that abducted Tabitha. I'm not gonna narrate everything that happens here. There's a lot more that I wanna say, but this video already at this point, before processing and editing, is at 16 minutes, and I don't want this video to last forever because a lot of people on YouTube just have short attention spans. So basically, he finally reaches the ultimate ringleader, confronts him, but I don't like to spoil my endings in movie reviews, so you need to watch the movie for yourself if you wanna see what happened. And with that, wow, I talked about the whole movie. It felt like I was never going to finish this movie review. I've literally been shooting and editing this review for a week. I've been so busy. Every chance I get, I've just been shooting little clips. You might have noticed, like, my hairstyle has changed like 20 times in the course of making this video. Like, I trimmed my beard. Like, because every day when I get a chance, I just shoot a little clip of talking about one section of the movie. So for those of you who stuck with me this far in the movie, thank you. You're troopers. You've been with me for the long haul. I don't want to give like a huge summary of my overall thoughts because I've been talking about it throughout the video. But in a nutshell, would I recommend this video to other people? Yes. It's not a perfect movie. It's pretty mediocre, but it has a couple really epic moments, some pretty good fight choreography. My biggest gripes with it are just that some parts are not visually beautiful and they need to be bigger in scope and scale, and that it doesn't really have a good system of justice of what you do to bad people, but it's still a watchable movie, and honestly, I actually enjoyed it, and it's pretty good to just laugh at the parts that aren't as good, not laugh in a bad way, and then to just wow about the parts that are good. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. With that said, my outros are always short, so just don't do anything stupid and live your life for Jesus. Hallelujah.